the Warren Elks comic book show, and we're going to show video and my haul. So let's check it out. Hey, thanks for checking out my comics closet. I'm Lynn. Probably went to the last show of the year this last weekend. It was the Warren Elks comic book show. It was at the, the Macomb Elks Lodge, I believe. And it's always a good show. Put on by Marty Herchuk. He does several shows a year, and then he does the big Detroit comic book and toy show, which is coming up. We'll talk about in a few minutes. It's a good show. A lot of dealers there, mostly comics, a lot of great comics. A lot of new stuff that, you know, all the dealers were bringing, which I didn't go through and get a whole lot of stuff. I got some smaller books. I'm kind of budgeting at the moment, if you want to say that. But after New Year and down the road here, I'm going to be selling some books. So keep an eye here and let me know if you see anything you like. I'm going to try to get more stuff out here that I actually going to try and sell. And I'll probably be at some of these shows coming up down the road. So, like I say, like, comment, share, subscribe. Well, make sure you comment and watch these and let me know if you're looking for anything in particular. I've got a lot of the new release indie stuff. You know, I try to pick up a couple of those every week. And I've got a whole bunch of books from my LCS that I haven't shown because I was up hunting. I was up for, you know, the whole firearm deer season from November 15th till, actually I came home on December 1st. Check it out. Because I had an appointment with my lawyer because I don't even want to talk about this, but my wife's filing for divorce against me after 32 years. So I'm just ready. I retired and I got the paperwork pretty much the same time. So we're trying to figure that all out, trying to figure out what we're doing because she wants to split my comics up, I guess. I don't know what we're working at. Anyway, I'm done with all that. I haven't announced it because it's been eating at me. It's been a while since it happened, maybe a few months. We should be over it soon after the end of the year, and I'm going to have to find a new studio. So anyway, that's enough of that. Now, like I said, I went to the Warren Elks show. So there are other shows coming up. You know, I don't think there's any more this year that I'm going to be going to. There may be something this year, but because actually after Saturday, on Sunday, the 7th was the Knights Hall show, and I didn't go there. It was snowing. We got like 8-9 inches of snow now. I was out snow blowing all yesterday. So, but actually there are some other shows. Let me see what we have here. Well, they do have the dates up now for the Dawn of the Collectors comic and toy show, which is in St. Clair Shores on Jefferson Avenue at the Bruce Post of the, VFW Hall. Bruce Post. You punch in VFW Hall in St. Clair Shores. Comes right up. But anyway, in shows in 2026 are going to be January 18th, February 15th, April 19th, June 7th, August 9th, October 25th, November 15th. I'll be up hunting. And December 6th, which is a year from the show I'm just showing you. So, and they always have great shows. It's, you know, it is more comics and toys. Toys, figurines, Marvel, DC, Pokemon cards, vintage new books. $2 to get in. Free parking. Kids 13 and free under. Kids 13 and under free. 10 to 3. Early bird drawing. You can get in 9 to 10. You got to pay $10. But the early bird drawings usually got a cooler prize. So anyway, there's that. Dawn of the Collectors show. And then Knights Hall show, which was last Sunday. I didn't go to. But the 2026 dates for that are January 18th, which was same as that one. February 15th, same as Dawn of the Collectors. March 22nd, they don't have one at Dawn of the Collectors. April 12th, July 26th, August 2nd, September 20th, October 11th, and then December 6th again. So, competing shows kind of in the local area. And of course, there's going to be the first Warren Elks comic book and toy show. Actually, just Warren Elks comic book show, 10 to 3 on Shaner. Free parking. That's the Macomb Elks Lodge. Saturday, January 10th. So, second annual. $5 to get in. And he's got a whole bunch of guests, artists, stuff like that. You know, I'll get into more of that later. I don't know if there's going to be a bunch of guests at this one. Actually, this is the comic book show. This is the Warren show. And then there's the Detroit comic book and toy show. No, that's Saturday, April 4th. Because I was thinking April 12th, but that's actually my mom's birthday. Love you, Mom. He's got a bunch of guests for that. Glenn Barr, Steve Bama, classic horror artist. Mark Bloodworth did some art for Dead World, but he's got some cool horror art also. Craig Boldman, who does Archie stuff. Mark Dancy, down in England, who does a lot of cool horror stuff. Matt Feasel, who does Cynical Man, the stick figure comics. Robert Krause, I'm not sure what he does. Bill Morrison, who does the Simpsons books. A lot of other art. I've got a bunch of stuff signed by him. He did this Futurama. We'll get into all this stuff a little later. And Don Simpson, who did a lot. He did the Megaton Man. I think he did a lot of stuff for Mad Magazine. But that is, this is the third annual Detroit Comic Book Show. 10 to 5. I don't see a price on it. Oh, $15 to get in. If you're younger, what is it, 10 or under? I think it's the same thing. All kids 13 and under are free with a parent. And then Fantasticon, which is in Toledo, I think it's the Glass Center, is March 14th and 15th in 2026. And that's a big show. It's a big hall. Got a lot of comics. A little bit of a drive for me, but it's not too far. I mean, Toledo is only between an hour and a half away from Waterford. And of course, there's www.fantasticon.net. And then, save the date for the Motor City Comic Con coming up on May 15th through the 17th in 2026. I don't think there's any guests announced. I haven't seen much about it yet. This is the first thing I saw a while back, was to save the date. So, I'll probably be going to that. Motor City Comic Con. I didn't go to this last one. And I got this shirt. I think I got this last year. Because I was up north. It was on the weekend of the 15th. So, I went up north on the 13th. I bow hunted on the 14th. Then I gun hunted, firearm deer season. From the 15th to December, well, till the 30th. And then December 1st, I came home. I got a shot at one. It was way outshot. It was dark, and I missed it. It moved just as it all happened quick. It was like 5:15, and you only got about 10 more minutes before it's too dark to shoot. I didn't think it was a buck until the last second, and then I think I rushed it. But I didn't get it. I saw a few deer. The very next night, I had 6 deer come through, but they were behind me. Anyway, there's always next year. I was going to go up this weekend, but it shows on my Kindle weather that it's been snowing for the last 3 or 4 days, and it's not going to get above like 25 degrees. But once it gets down around 20, it's just too cold to be, you can never warm up, you know. So, I guess we'll check out the video here. I'm going to kind of cut it up. I'll show all the dealers, and then we'll talk about a couple of the artists. I didn't buy any art. I'd love to buy some more of their art. I've got a couple things from those guys, but some of them. So maybe I'll show a couple of things of that, and then I'll show the books that I picked up. So let's check it out. Cool. What's up, buddy? So there you go. Pretty good show. It's always a good show. Had a couple of different dealers, and like I say, a lot of the guys were showing on Facebook and stuff that they were bringing in new stuff. There's also a big show, I think, in Columbus going the same day. So some of the guys that are at this show are from that area. So I think a lot of the guys went to that show. And I know some of the guys from this area went to that show. Maybe they thought it would do better. I don't know. But he did have like 5 or 6 artists there. I was talking to this guy for a minute. And I saw he did a couple of like the sketch cover books. People were bringing him sketch cover books of all different kinds of titles, and he was doing some pretty cool art on that. But his name was Luke Karolowitz. And I'll put his card up here. It's got a QR code. So I'll get a shot of that and put that up there so you can check him out. I didn't get anything from him, but I saw some of the books. I should have got a couple shots, but I don't think I did. You can see the stuff though at his booth there. And then there was, Bill Morrison was there. He signed, he draws like the Futurama and the Simpsons books. I've had several books signed by him. I actually won a book signed by him on I forget what it was, some YouTube channel. And you can get stuff like, I got this Bender sketch from it. I think that was it. That might have been at the Great Lakes Comic-Con or whatever it is. But anyway, Bill Morrison was there. Matt Feasel, who's the stick figure comic guy, Cynical Man. But he also does a lot of, I got a whole poster of all the presidents done in his little stick figure style. Little cards. I've got a Spider-Man card that he did that it's in my box of, it fits right in the little label part of one of those plastic boxes for the graded. books, you know. And then Steve Bama, who does some great horror art. I've got a couple of shirts that he, you know, are made from his paintings, Frankenstein and the Creature from the Black Lagoon. I love those shirts. Plus, Mark Concernicus, I'm not sure, Marcus Concernicus, which he had some cool looking, very colorful art. I got a little shot of that right there. He's the guy, I think, standing with the coveralls. I didn't really talk to him. Dave Brown, who I've never really talked to or heard of before, but I mean, he's got some cool art. So that's those guys. And now we'll show the books I picked up. So I don't know, a bunch of them were like $2 books. I mean, I don't even think I spent $100, which is good because I'm being monitored. Actually, yeah. I can hardly ever get to my wife to watch any of my videos unless I sit there and watch them with her. But now I found out that her and her lawyer have been going through and keep taking the prices for them, you know, to see how much my stuff's worth. So I'm screwed, I guess. All right. So these were all, okay, these were $2 books. They have the red tag on them. And I picked them up. $2, Doc Savage. Number 1. Let me get that over here. I forget what. Oh no, this is number 2. I forgot. I have number 1. And it's weird. It's a weird comic company. I can't even think of who it is now. But anyway, I got number 2 now because I used to read all the Doc Savage novels. And they were like pulp fiction, not pulp fiction, but just like the pulp novels in the old days. And I read a bunch of them, and I read a lot of the comics. And then this is another $2 book. Oh, this says $5. Okay, no, wait a minute. These were in a different one. This was another $2 book. Oh, I got it mixed up a little bit. Which is Spider-Man Hobgoblin Lives. And I probably have this book, but I bought it because it goes in one of my sub-collections where there's like a half a face or a split costume or even just a split picture on the cover, you know. But that's a cool split costume. I don't know who does that art. Kind of neat though. And okay, well, just like this, another $2 book, Spider-Man Unmasked. But of course, it is, you know, Peter Parker and Spider-Man, you know, like a split, you know. So I grabbed that. Okay, and then the rest of these were marked by price. This one says $4. Marvel 2-in-1, number 25, presents Thing and Iron Fist. And I just bought it because it's, well, I've been buying all these Marvel 2-in-1s with the Thing. I've got a, hold on. I've got a box, like the graphic box, with Fantastic Four on one side and the Thing on the other. And I'm putting all the cool Thing titles, cool Thing covers, or even if I can get this whole series or most of this series, because I also got, and this one says $5, but Marvel 2-in-1 24 presents Thing and Black Goliath. Is that racist? No. That's what they called him. And then Marvel 2-in-1 presents The Thing and the Liberty Legion. And that's a $4 book. I think I grabbed that one too because it's got floating heads. Floating head cover, which I have. I mean, they're easy to collect, but there's a bunch of them. I've been trying to collect maybe unusual, because if you go through the Avengers, there's floating head covers every like 3 or 4 issues. Marvel 2-in-1 presents The Thing and the Thor, number 22, with skeleton cover. It's got Thing and Thor. He had a pretty good, run of these Thing covers. I think he had a couple of them. I'm not sure. I'm going to go through and see what I have, if I'm going to pick these up, make a list. And this is Marvel 2-in-1 18, presents The Thing and the Scarecrow. But it's got, looks like he's fighting Human Torch. I think the Scarecrow takes over your brain, right? Somehow. I forget now. And then Marvel 2-1 number 8, which is a Thing and Ghost Rider. And this is a Christmas one. Silent Night, Deadly Night. And then this one is Marvel 2-Run number 7. With the Thing and Valkyrie. And okay, he's fighting the Executioner there. Which was I thought one of the more accurate depictions in like Thor Ragnarok of the characters. They had what's his name? Butcher. What's his name? Butcher from the Boys was the Executioner. He did a pretty good job, I thought. And then I got this one, which is Marvel Superheroes Magazine number 1, 96 big pages for $3, but it's got a great Thing cover. You know, the Thing running at you, Hulk right behind him, and the whole Fantastic Four. But it's a cool Thing cover. I bought it just to put it in the Thing book box, Thing box book, Thing book box. Who knows? And then this one is Marvel Presents Bloodstone number 2. And I bought Bloodstone, well, Marvel Presents Bloodstone number 1 a while back, which is the first appearance of Bloodstone. I don't know if you saw the TV show they had with Werewolf by Night and Bloodstone and a bunch of Monster Hunter things. But they had the Werewolf by Night and the Man-Thing appears. So, kind of a cool show. I don't know. Go through the price here. Well, whether the first 3 were $2. 6, 13, 25, 29, 33, 38, 42. Yeah, I think I give them $40 for these. That's right. You give me a couple more bucks off even. I got these from, I believe his name's Greg. But he's there all the time, and he's got a pretty good collection. Pretty wide collection of stuff. A lot of the boxes where if you buy a couple, you get a free one. But no, these were, I actually went by prices, but like I say, they gave me a couple bucks off. So, and then I bought these from Scott Burnham at Blue Rat Comics. I always like to get stuff from Scott. He's got nice stuff, and he's a great guy. I didn't really get anything, like I say, expensive. So that was like the second Bloodstone. This here. I always carry these. I got a little like shoulder bag, like a green. I was going to use it for hunting, but it's a pain in the butt because you got to reach in it. But yeah, it fits 2 of these boxes in it really nicely, plus my little tripod for my camera and a bottle of water. And I can walk around with 2 of these and fill them up, and I usually keep a couple more in the car, but I didn't buy that much stuff this time. So yeah, these I got from Scott Burnham at Blue Rat Comics. So, okay. I'll just start here, I guess. Well, let's end up with these. So, actually, this is probably the most expensive one I bought. But I think all these were half price. From what I remember, everything was 50% off in these boxes. So I got this Incredible Hulk 157, which just reminds me of my childhood days. I know I had that book because I remember that cover and Jim being dead, almost killed, or if he got killed there. Fighting the Rhino, though I always like the Rhino was a great battle for the Hulk. So I got that. And then I bought this Alpha Flight number 97, which I bought because I just had this book signed by Fabian Nicienza, and it came back, I think, in 94. So this is kind of like a reader now, if I need to. Or I might, if I ever sell that book, I just could go with it. But that's the only signed copy of this book on the CGC census. And it's a 9.4. I think there was another 9.4. I think there was a couple of 9.6s and then maybe a 9.8. There's not very many of this book graded, which he actually commented. We'd never signed that book before that he knew of, and he didn't know anybody would have it signed. And I said, that's because it's an unusual book for his signature. And then I also bought these, which is giant size annual Web of Spider-Man. I think I have this, but I've never seen so many floating heads in my life. Floating heads everywhere. It's like the whole Spider-Man cast is floating heads behind him. So I bought that to go in the floating head box. Or probably a binder. And then I grabbed this Amazing Spider-Man 266. I don't know if it's considered a newsstand. I guess so, maybe. It's got the barcode, but it's this man, this frog. And it's Black Suit Spider-Man fighting, I don't know, what is it, Frogman? I don't even know what those characters' names are anymore. But I just thought it was funny. I don't know. It's a cool cover. I think it was half price from that. And then this is, last but not least of these books, is Amazing Spider-Man number 270. And he's beating the brakes off Firelord there. They don't show him there, but yeah. I don't know why. I just grabbed it because... Oh, because it was $1. So that was $1. I think this is $1. The frog one. This was $6. That makes $8. But that's a cool cover, and it's really in pretty good shape. And this Alpha Flight, I forget what it was. I think it was only $1, maybe a couple dollars. Don't see the price on that one. Must have been in a box of a certain price. And this says 10. I think it was 5. So it's 5, 6, 7. And the wife's home, so we'll cut this short. I'll finish it up in a minute because my dog starts going crazy.
And how is they doing?
All right. I think that's everything. I don't know. I went through what? All the upcoming shows, bad news, and show the books. So I guess that's about it. I don't know. I'm going to try to get another video out here before Christmas. I got to get my decorations up. Trying to clean up down here, and I got to go get my books. I think today's Thursday. I was going to go get my books yesterday, but it was snowing like crazy, and I was snow blowing out there. I snow blowed my driveway and my neighbor's driveway. My neighbor's a lady similar age as me, but she lives alone, and she's still working. I think she's a caretaker for somebody or something, but so I got her driveway plowed out enough to use, and mine's driveway is plowed out, and there's more snow coming. So I'm going to take a little run before it starts hitting. I'll get my books for this week, and maybe in my next video I'll just show a bunch of those books, and I don't know when I'm going to go get anything else. I know what I was going to do. I was going to show you these books up here I put up. They're all autographed books. Most of them I did at shows. I had shows, I went to shows where I could get witnessed. Some I did send into CGC. So that's what we got. Here we are. And I'm going to try to get one more video out before the end of the year. I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. See, I was up north. I went with my neighbor across the street. He lives up there in this nice, beautiful cabin. Another guy built it. Lived there before him, but he moved in. They were friends a long time. And so he came over and picked me up. We went to the VFW Hall in Hale, Michigan, and had turkey dinner cooked by, the locals. And it was great. That way I was up hunting. I hunted in the morning. I ate. I think I slept the rest of the day and got back up and hunted on Friday. Black Friday. That's actually the night I took a shot at that deer and missed it. That kind of stuff happens. But that's about everything I got here. I'm trying to figure out something for the next one. Appreciate you checking me out here. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. And keep coming back here to my comic closet, where we bring comics, comic collecting, right out of the closet. So, thank you.